Greetings, family. So today I want to talk about how our experiences, at least the way we interpret them, is the story that we tell ourselves about those experiences. So a lot of times, and this is not to invalidate your experience, but a lot of times when we are in a place of conflict with people, there is a story that we tell ourselves about that experience or about that argument and why it happened and how it came to be without really sort of fully getting into where the conflict is actually stemming from. And that's not to say that your interpretation is wrong. However, understand that the way you are telling your story is slightly biased because it's you that's experiencing the story. And this is not to invalidate how it is that you perceive it, because perhaps the situation was such that it did cause you a great deal of damage, and that the way a person may be showing up is in a way that is not necessarily beneficial for you. So this is not to invalidate the story that you tell yourself, but understand that because of your experience, because of your insular view of that experience, the way you may be telling it may not be the full picture. I know that for many years, there was a story that I had told myself about how it was that I was experiencing my family, and it had caused me a great deal of pain. And then one day I had an epiphany that the experiences that I had with them led me to where I was at that present moment as I was reviewing that thought. And that my experiences with them led me to a place where I am much happier with the decisions that I have eventually made in the long run, because of the experiences that I had with them, and also how I kind of viewed the way that they had lived their lives. But I was able to be in a place eventually to pull back on my judgment of it and understand that I may not have necessarily have had the words to share with them about how it was that I was experiencing them, and how it was that they were showing up for me. One of the things that I would recommend, if you're able to do it, and of course, with anything that I say, is just a suggestion. I'm not telling you to do it. However, if you find yourself in a place of pain with the experience that you're having with another person, make sure to give voice to that and take ownership of the fact that you're actually feeling that feeling. It's not necessarily that you are blaming them, but if you can go to even that point of the origin of the pain, or just saying something to the effect of, when you said this to me, it reminded me of this, and I'm making the request that we not have this discussion, or that you not do this, or however it is that you decide to handle that. It is best to deal with those pain points right as they begin, instead of being in a place of holding on to that pain or resentment, or even saying to the person, like, okay, so what it is that you've shared with me, this is what I heard, and this is the story that I'm telling myself. Taking ownership of the fact that it is a story that you're telling yourself, and just making the request that, I would like to be in a different place experiencing it. And what you will find is that when you share what it is that you're experiencing instead of like allowing your emotions to just go off and attack the person, or to be in that place of pain where you silently walk away, or whatever that may look like for you. If a person is in a place of not wanting to do you harm and that values your friendship and your relationship, you may find that there is a change in how they may operate with you, because you were in a place of being transparent with them. Like if they truly value their relationship with you, some type of shift or change may actually take place. Now, if they're in a place of stubbornness about the way they show up, then you have a decision to make as to how it is that you are going to navigate the relationship with them in the future. Understand that you're always going to be in a place of making the best possible decision for yourself when you are honest and transparent about how it is that you're experiencing a situation, and take ownership of that. And make sure that, and also mention that you're not necessarily blaming them, but that is what you're feeling in that moment. And see how that works. Now, I will say, not everybody is going to respond well to that, because they will hear that you are blaming them. And again, one of the things to be aware of is that you just keep reiterating that you're not necessarily blaming them. Not everybody is going to have the emotional maturity to actually navigate that type of honesty. But as you come more and more and practice this more and more, because it is a practice, but when you practice more and more how to speak to the feelings that you're having and taking ownership of those feelings, and actually coming to some type of cooperation or agreement as to how you're going to navigate further, you're going to find that people will, because you are showing up differently than you may have in the past, that they will respond differently and may be in a place of actually honoring the request. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you this evening. And if anybody out there actually likes this content, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and also share. And may peace and power be with you wherever you go. Blessings, family.